Wow. Just wow. So many things in this chapter made sense, yet at the same time, so many chapters in this one was just so completely wow. How is that even possible? Is one of the first questions I ask myself. But then I realized one thing. As I said before, if Escanor could control that enormous power he has, then maybe he will become even more dangerous than he already is. And this seems to suggest that Escanor doesn't have to transform only through the sun. No, he only needs to be remembered. His power of the sun is not the only thing that powers him. He has, unconsciously or not, or was it Gowther who unleashed it? He can now power himself up with the power of love because Marilyn in his heart is a sun. In this Nanatsu no Taizai chapter of 169, yeah, in this one we see the we see of course Escanor wanting to tell the demons that he don't want to fight a comrade, but of course uh, Glocksnea just laughed at that, saying it's more fun watching humans who is greedily for prize fighting each other. Ugh, I hate those demons. They continue to laugh at the humans' negative emotions, yet it's worth noting that they are the most weak of them all. And why am I saying that? Well, they're the most powerful of them all, but they're weak in here because they are consider themselves prideful beings who consider they are above everything else. And yet it's worth noting there was a human who destroyed two of them. So I actually wonder, will a human destroy them again? Well, maybe Escanor is not as strong as Gloxnea, but here it is that here once again Gowther pulls some insane logic, saying that only by having a heart he will know the true emotions. Jericho tries to reason with him, but Gowther, being a logic machine, just pulls insane logic on her, saying like you used your own powers in order to get what no you wanted your own strength, so you threw away your heart by becoming close to demons. As Jericho keep on trying to reason with Gowther, saying like comrades, the dark side of Gowther keeps getting more and more true. As I said before, it turns out that maybe Gowther is a Ten Commandments. While Gowther is heartless, and when I mean heartless, I mean that he has no emotions, and therefore he is a logical machine. It's also worth noting that a lot of times when he gets into his illogical, heartless side, or maybe logical, heartless side, he's actually extremely scary. Then you can almost sense that it makes sense for him to be a Ten Commandment. Yet at the same time, he wants a heart. Yes, so he can feel emotion. In a way, for me, that doesn't make sense, and yet at the same time, it makes perfect sense. Why? I'm not really sure. But here, one of the first things says that is that Meliodas still hasn't changed his poker face, and apparently, as I said before, no one can understand Meliodas' thoughts, and it turns out that even Dolor with his magical eye can't read his heart or his thoughts. Meliodas' poker face and how he is just that good. Do you understand that? He can real again. Meliodas is someone with so many deep secrets that it's actually begin to wonder if he's any better than the villains he hunts. But well, then Gowther shuts up Jericho by kicking her, and then of course stomps on the annoying Hawk. The the Hawk. He still justifies it that everything that it comes from powers and mid-dinners and everything like that. He wants to have a heart in order to understand that. And so he uses his nightmare terror, his full power, in order to trap Escanor in a nightmare of his worst fears, so to speak. It also turns out that Escanor's, in his weakest form, only has a power level of 15. He was considered the weakest Holy Knight ever, so yeah, guess that makes sense. We see a little bit glimpse of Escanor's past now. Turned out Escanor actually came from a royal family, but his brother was a bully. Always bullied him and was jealous of his love for his family. It was during that time, for the first time ever, Escanor revealed his sun power, and his family turned against him. Even his own mother turned against him. So Escanor fled thanks to a woman called Rosa. I wonder if that's connected to someone. As Escanor keep on traveled, he saved some people, yet at the same time scared others. It was during this time that Merlin and Meliodas approached Escanor. And it turned out that one of the reasons why Escanor fell in love with Merlin most was because Merlin was never ever scared of what Escanor was. Because, Merlin is a little bit like a magic mad scientist. For her, things of unnatural things, it just fascinates her. Moreover, when she thinks ignorance is, she gets excitement and arousal from ignorance. So in a way, so what Gowther shows is an illusion of where Merlin shuts him down by saying, "I refuse to walk alongside you, a man that doesn't have a future, and you're nothing more than a pawn. Experiment for me," Merlin says. As Escanor seems to drown into the darkest depths of despair, which is actually my favorite word. Well, it's not my favorite word, but my most used word. Gowther ends his nightmare terror. However, it turns out that Escanor does not drown. He may be the weakest holy knight when he's in his knight form, but he has some amazing willpower. Because here is what I'm saying. That even if Merlin would use him, he's perfectly fine with that. Because even if she will not walk alongside him, he is consistent with that. When Escanor was drowning in the absolute darkness, she was the one who illuminated his path. In all essence, despite whatever Merlin really feels for Escanor, we don't know. But Escanor is perfectly fine for what she sees him as, for she gave him something that he never thought he would have, a son. And what I'm saying by that is a love, a son love, and by using the nightmare terror, unfortunately, Gowther just sealed his own fate. I guess in an essence you could say he awakened Escanor's powers. Maybe he can control them now. It's not confirmed. But it turns out that Escanor doesn't only need to have his son, the sun, to power him. No. By remembering his love, Merlin, the sun in his body shines enough. And as Escanor thanks Gowther by saying, what you've shown me have been hope, not despair. The muscle-bounded, dangerous Escanor reveals by saying, "Now come, little sin that takes pleasure in toying with the hearts of others. Retribution for your shenanigans shall be severe." So we see a little bit glimpse of Escanor's past here. Turns out he's from a royal family, and he has had that power ever since he was a baby. Or not a baby, a child. Still doesn't understand why. But then again, that's the biggest mystery that Merlin finds fascinating. Moreover, again, Gowther's nightmare terror is extremely powerful, but twice now it has turned on him. The first time he couldn't help it. He didn't know there was a demon inside of Dreyfus. And now, the willpower, the love one man has for a woman, single-handedly broke the nightmare terror and also unlocked his power. I think, again. I mean, holy crap, what's gonna happen now? Gowther has sealed his own fate. I sincerely doubt Gowther can defeat Escanor. But then again, I mean, at his peak, Escanor was stronger than any other since combined. So it's not exactly confirmed how his power works now, than with this kind of power. But what we can say though is this: if Escanor wins now, what is gonna happen to Gowther? Is he gonna be vanquished? I mean, in a way, I'm actually surprised Dolor and Gloxnia hasn't seen what who Gowther is. That could very well hint they became demons later. So what kind of carnage await now? Give me your thoughts if you have any.